with the injury situations that you guys have, or absences that you guys have in the backcourt, understanding you haven't been back that long and you may still be ramping up, what has Steve told you about what your role will be and how many minutes that you might be permitted by the performance team to play?
I haven't received any restrictions. It's going to be, game by game, what is necessary and what Steve feels, he needs from me. So it's not any set number to answer your question.
Matt Brooks with Nets Daily.
Morning, Tyler. You joined this team on its bubble roster with a lot of, younger players, and now you've become an integral piece to a championship core. What would you say to yourself at your bubble self, I guess, about what this journey is going to be like and what you're going to learn along the way?
I guess it's weird to think about. I haven't really stopped and thought about it up to this point. But I'd just say, stay steady. There's going to be a lot of different emotions thrown at you. Even going from being waived by Phoenix to get to the bubble in the first place. The wave of emotions you have to go through to kind of humble yourself, to get yourself back in a place where you can play productive basketball again. And then this year has been pretty seamless. You have Hall of Famers that you're around all the time. And so if you're not working on your game, if you're not trying to get better, then it's hard to say that you even really love the game of basketball.
Steve Lichtenstein with WFAN.
Hi, Tyler. Kevin, has come back from all his injuries and is at his peak efficiencies. It's quite unusual. I mean, how you've seen him over the years. Is he better now than he used to be?
I don't know. He's always been pretty damn good. Like, I don't know, to answer your question. I watched a couple highlights of him yesterday, actually, when he was in OKC, and he was still a killer. So I can't answer your question, to be honest, because to me, he's always been like I would say the best scorer in the league, but he's just, I don't know. I think the rest of his game and how he's getting it, he doesn't force it, has continued to grow as time has gone on.
Tom Dowd with BrooklynNets.com.
Hey, Tyler, you guys are closing in on the end of the regular season. Has that playoff feeling started to creep into the locker room yet, as far as just knowing you're on the brink of starting that journey?
Yes and no. I mean, we understand that we need to be going into the playoffs playing our best basketball, and like we talked about a little bit earlier, getting bodies back. So integrating guys back into the lineup as they get healthy. So I think it's from that standpoint. Yes, we have been having to gear up, because there's not a lot of room for mistakes moving forward.
Chris Mulholland with Nets Daily.
Hey, Tyler, just piggyback off Tom's question. How important is the 1 seed for you guys?
I mean, I think, if you have the opportunity to get it, why wouldn't you go and try and get it? We haven't, in the time that I've been here, we haven't had a lot of conversations of, we need to be the 1 seed. We need to be the 1 seed. But, just as competitors from all of us, if you have the opportunity to be the best team in your conference, I don't see why you wouldn't go try and do that.
Back to Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey, Tyler. Following up on that, I mean, you guys are in a position, I guess, where Steve has implied you really don't know whether you're going to have your full roster at any point before the playoffs. I mean, team-wide, in the locker room, have you guys kind of, I don't know, grudgingly accepted that may be the reality? You may not have a fully healthy team until you get to the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, just the way the whole year has gone has been, kind of weird. I mean, there's been times it's just been James, times it's just been Kai. There was a short, brief period where it was just KD, a couple games, and then the mixture of the two, of any one of those two playing together at different points during the year. But I think what it has done is it's put some pressure on, healthy pressure on the us role guys. That there's going to be times in the playoffs where somebody's going to have to step up big, and somebody's going to have to be that X factor, make that contribution, to get us over the hump. And so a lot, most of us have been in these weird situations where we've had, our roles increased and our roles diminished at different times during the year. And I think going into the playoffs with having gone through that already, you don't really have, those ups and downs in your approach to that situation because already going through it.
Back to Matt Brooks with Nets Daily.
Hey, Tyler, another playoff question, different sort of topic though. Just with the playoffs coming up, has the league itself given you guys additional or new information on the vaccines and the COVID protocols? And is that something, if that has happened, is that something you guys have discussed as a team, or are you guys still keeping that a private manner? Because I know that was what you guys were doing earlier.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Just with the playoffs coming along, has there been different changes to the protocols? Has there been anything like that with regard to the vaccines? And is that something you guys have discussed as a team?
Not to my knowledge, no. It's right now it's some, I guess, when it's available, people can get it. And, it's going to be up to every man to keep themselves in a position where they're healthy, and we, hopefully don't have to run into any of those protocol problems as we move into the playoffs.